Downtown, Petco Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
And good day, everybody. Welcome to the Padres Diamondbacks pregame show for June 20th, 2022. I'm your host, Ben Fadden. Hopefully, you are doing well. Got you, Darvish, on for the Padres tonight against Zach Davies, the former Padre, the guy that has done some things that I disagree with off the field. And hopefully, the Padres will give it to Zach Davies tonight. The big news starting off here is that CJ Abrams is on the roster, but it's not in place of the guy that we thought, right? He's on the roster. We thought it was going to be because Manny Machado was going to the injured list. Instead, you get the news today that Abrams is activated and Reese Kinnear is being optioned down in the minor leagues. There's two things there. Obviously, there's the Manny thing, right? Where you expected him to be on the injured list, and now he's not. And it's like, oh, this is a surprise. And then there's another thing where it's like, okay, it's Reese Kinnear going down. He, if you think about it, he's been more effective out of the bullpen in his time with the big league club than a guy like Craig Stammen has been as of late. Craig Stammen's a veteran. Reese Kinnear has a bunch of options, so you can't compare him in that sense, right? But Reese Kinnear being sent down, it's not like he was pitching bad. And then obviously, though, what you're really going to pay attention to is Manny not being sent down, right? And reports that I've seen from Twitter today, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Manny's ankle is like blue and black, so it's not looking good. But it's Manny Machado, and Kevin Acee just put out here, it's Manny Machado, so they'll wait. He's moving around surprisingly well. Still needs swelling to recede so that they can be sure. So right now, it looks like they're waiting for the swelling to go down. If it does, in fact, go down, then I think Manny might be able to avoid it. Like, it's Manny Machado. This isn't CJ Abrams that we're dealing with, where you're a young rookie and you're just going to do what the team tells you. The doctors say, hey, you should go on the IL. You're going to do it. With Manny Machado, it's Manny Machado. Like, no one knows his body better than him. He wants to be out there. He takes pride in being out there every day. So, yeah, I'm surprised that he's not on the IL just based off of watching the video yesterday of him spraining the ankle. I keep trying to say fracture. He did not fracture it. He sprained it. And right now, he's not on the IL. I think that is his decision. If it's the Padres, they probably were like, hey, go on the 10-day at least. But with Manny, he's like, no, if I can make it back before 10 days, don't take a roster spot up for me. Who knows? Maybe I could go take an at bat. I'm not saying tonight. Don't get me wrong. Tonight, he's not playing. I really regret that. Or I would doubt that he would play today. But within the next 10 days, you're telling me that he can't get in at bat. If he's feeling well, let's say the swelling goes down and tomorrow the ankle looks a lot better, he might avoid an IL stint. With that said, I would still put I think the odds are he's going to go on the 10-day at least. But it's Manny. He wants to play. He's not one of those guys where, okay, he gets the $300 million and he's like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. I'm getting paid. I'll just go on the IL. Who cares? He wants to play. He wants to win. And that's what you got to love about our captain. I think he's easily the captain of the team. I don't have the Padres ever put a C on someone's jersey. If they haven't, I mean, Manny Machado is a really, really good first guy to do that, but he's definitely the captain of the team, and he's setting a good example, right, for those young guys. I just sprained my ankle yesterday, and I'm not going on the IL when there's doctors out there that think I'm going to be out for a month. I'm not going on the IL today because I'm going to try to tough it out, do this rehab, do whatever the training staff wants me to do, and then reevaluate it probably tomorrow, see where you are there. If you're seeing progress, then he probably doesn't go on the IL. So right now, sure, it's great news. What matters though is really what happens tomorrow, I would think, if you see progress or if you don't, right? Moving to today's game, CJ Abrams obviously in the lineup. He is batting eighth, playing shortstop in front of Ha-Sung Kim. Again, the pitching matchup tonight for the 6:40 p.m. start is Yu Darvish against Zach Davies. Valley Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. The Diamondbacks are 32-36. The Padres are 41-27. Despite being swept, I was talking about it on episode 185 last night. Despite being swept, they're still 14 games over 500. Sign me up for that. You don't have Manny right now. See, for tonight, at least. You don't have Tatis for the entire season, or at least so far the entire season. And Crony didn't get off to a hot start. And you're in these circumstances, sign me up for that. You can find me at Talking for Hours on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok. By the way, we got to give a Joe Musgrove Extend Joe Musgrove shirt and a Manny Machado bobblehead. That giveaway is happening on that Talking for Hours Twitter account right now. We got 20 minutes till that ends, 5 o'clock, and then I'll be putting the names into a random name picker and picking one of those names out. So feel free, go over to that Twitter account, Talking Friars, at Talking Friars, to enter that giveaway. All right, getting to Yu Darvish tonight. Right now, he has a 3.35 ERA. He's got over 60 strikeouts this year. Last start out, he was tremendous. Gave up that 1 run on the Yan Gomes home run, but went 8 innings, 1 earned run. Start before that, 7 shutout innings. So last 15 innings, he's given up 1 run. His ERA was 4.03 entering June 7th. And now it's June 20th, and it's 3.35. So pretty darn good. And, he's had 2 clunkers. When you look at the game logs, like the Atlanta game, the second clunker, for me, wasn't even really a clunker. I guess you could say 3 clunkers then if you look at the game logs. Gave up 9 runs to the Giants. That was the one bad start he's had this year. 5 runs against Atlanta. The defense was not good that game at Atlanta. The St. Louis, where he gave up 5 earned runs. He was just totally cruising. He gave up those runs like in the 7th inning where, maybe he should have been taken out a little bit earlier, but he was cruising there. He's had one where the start, like the full start, was terrible. One all year. He's been tremendous. I think he deserves to be in the All-Star game right now if I was voting on that. But yeah, right now, 3.35 ERA, and what we got to expect out of him is, or what to watch for and expect, is that these Padres starting pitchers, starting with him tonight, can they get back on that quality start? Seems like every night, can they get back on that quality start like streak? I don't know if that's an actual number of quality starts in a row that they've had, but it felt like, right, before that Rocky series, everyone was pitching 6 innings, 7 innings, right? And it's easy to do that against the Cubs lineup. And, it's not like the Diamondbacks lineup is amazing either, right? I mean, tonight, you got, I count like 2 guys that you really want to stay away from, Christian Walker and David Peralta hitting 4.5. Alec Thomas, the average is up, but he doesn't scare you with, like, power. Doesn't have a bunch of RBIs. So, yeah, definitely 7 innings. I mean, 7 innings, like 2 runs is I feel like is what's appropriate to expect out of Yu Darvish. Christopher, hello. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Lakum says, is that the Padres and Manny thinking short term rather than long term? Uh, about him not going on the IL. I think that's Manny thinking short term. Yeah. Yeah, probably short term. Yeah. Thinking, I want to help this team. What's the point in going on the IL right now when I could test it out, recover, see how I feel in a few days? And if I don't feel well, then you can put me on the 10-day IL and retroactive it to today. Right? Why put me on the IL tonight or today when you don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow or a couple days from now? I'm sure that's what his thought process is. I'm sure that's what he was communicating to the training staff and AJ Preller and the coaching staff and all that is you can retroactive the date um, to today if in a few days he still doesn't feel well. So I think it's a smart move. Like he's not going to get in the game tonight, right? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you're playing one man down. I understand that, but you are bringing up CJ Abrams, who can not just play third, or not really third. Uh, Play second. He can play short. He can play the outfield if you need him to, right? Yeah, Mills, I saw that. Yeah, just entered the giveaway. Appreciate it. Extend Grow Musve. Anyone doesn't know what that is, you missed out. Sorry. um, what was I talking about? Manny. Yeah, it's a short term to answer that. Like, I think it's short term, definitely. Rather, is what he's thinking. But it's smart to think short term right now because he knows the rules as much as anyone, and just taking advantage of those. You don't need to go on the IL. There's no point in going on the IL. Abrams can play short and second. Cronenworth can play short, second, first. Voit can play first. Kim can play second, short, third. They have infield versatility, even with Manny not there. Sergio Alcantara can play third, can play short, probably can play second. You know, they have that versatility there. Annie Halbrun just tweeted, probably a good time to point out that optimism isn't certainty. Chado could still go on the aisle, but this is where they're right now. Next few days likely to bring clarity. And yeah, totally agree with what Annie just said there. The next few days, big key here. Yeah, it's great that he's not on the IL. I definitely would have been on the IL today just because of bad the injury watching it yesterday. But now when I look back, from a far view and think about it from Manny's point of view, it's not that much of a surprise that he's not on the IL today. And he's just waiting. He's waiting to see how his body feels. Um, and again, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You can put him right back on or not right back. You can put him on the 10-day IL and just push the date back from to today. Let's say it's Wednesday. You can retroactive it 10-day IL, retroactive to June 20th, which is today. And then the 10 days would be he'd be eligible to come off next Wednesday if that's what happens. Anthony says, "Good afternoon, Ben." Good afternoon, Anthony. Wishing Manny a speedy recovery. I like the spot tonight that in wake of what happened, the right guys on the mound, minus to get the team in the win column. Yeah, if you don't have Joe on the mound like you don't tonight, who's that one guy that you do want on the mound? Right now, I would say Yu Darvish, coming off of 8 innings, 1 run, giving up 1 run in his last 2 starts, last 15 innings, right? Um, for Zach Davies, I mean, anyone that doesn't know the personal stuff that's gone on with him or been revealed so far this season, uh, go look at my Twitter. I might have, no, it's probably just on my tweets. Go look at the tweets. And I posted a picture, or not a picture, the link to the article from the New York Post that details why I hope Padres fans give it to Zach Davies tonight and why uh, I think it would be amazing to see Zach Davies get smashed tonight. Not just because he's on the Diamondbacks facing us, but it's deeper. Yeah. Brian, you say, I can see Joe Musgrove signing with the Dodgers. How about you? No. That's the one team he would not sign with, and then probably the Giants. They could offer him $300 million. I think he'd say no. Just because of his family. I can't even imagine him pitching in a Dodger uniform and his family being there at Petco Park wearing Padre uniforms because they're not going to wear a Dodger uniform. They'll support him, but they would not wear a Dodger Musgrove, I don't think, a Dodger uniform. That's the one team I can see him signing with. And getting back to Zach Davies, his last start, 7 innings, no runs. 2 of his last 3 starts, actually, he hasn't allowed a run. 6 innings, 3 runs on June 9th at Cincinnati. He has faced the Padres this year. It was the first weekend of the season, that Sunday game, I believe. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts on 75 pitches. And Davies, he's kind of like Kyle Hendricks, like the Padres saw last week, someone that's not going to blow you away with velocity, right? But at the same time, he's going to hit his spots, so he's going to be tough that way. So that's a big what to watch for tonight for me is can the Padres lineup, can they kind of change their approach from what it was against Hendricks the other last week? Because their approach I didn't think was that great against Kyle Hendricks, right? Once Kyle Hendricks left that game, I think it was the series opener at Wrigley last week. Once he left that game, all of a sudden, all of the momentum, all of the good mojo, if you will, went to the Padres side. You need that good mojo starting from the very beginning of this game against Zach Davies tonight. So that's what I'm looking for. Make that adjustment. Get the lead first. You got Yu Darvish on the mound. I'm confident he can shut down the Diamondbacks in that first inning and then go right after Davies. He's going to attack and get back to having that starting pitching quality starts because this Colorado series was not good. Pitching-wise, right? Nick Martinez giving up bombs left and right. Gore giving up 8 runs. Snell not just he was not able to finish that inning yesterday. Gave up 1 run in the first 4 innings, and then he was walking guys, giving up hits, leaving pitches over the middle of the plate. That's got to improve, and I think it will. You got Darvish tonight, Manaea tomorrow. Don't know Wednesday, but the pitching it sets up to be better this series, so that's encouraging. My Padre pick, excuse me. Yesterday I picked Crony. He went 2 for 5, so I'm 42-21 so far this season. In my pregame show Padre pick, and today I'm going to go with Jerks and Profar. Left versus right matchup, hitting second in the lineup. And I didn't even look at the matchup against Davies. He hasn't gotten a hit off them yet in his career, but that doesn't matter. It's 2 at-bats. Let's go over the bullpen situation. I haven't even done that. Haven't done the lineups yet. So let's do that. So Rogers didn't pitch yesterday. Garcia didn't pitch yesterday. Chris Matt didn't pitch yesterday. So you would think that all 3 would be available today. And then you got Tim Hill, maybe available. Stammen, no. Morhone, no. He was not great yesterday. Steven Wilson, back-to-back days already. Probably not him. So definitely you could see 7, 8, 9 tonight. Chris Matt, Garcia, Rogers, if that warrants that situation. If the Padres have the lead, you could see that tonight, I think. And going to the lineups, again, Reese Kinnear, anyone just tuning in, Reese Kinnear is down. He's optioned to the minor leagues. C.J. Abrams called up, so Kinnear not in that bullpen chart there because he's been sent down. For the Diamondbacks lineup, Dalton Varsho, Alec Thomas, Josh Rojas, and then the 2 guys stay away from these guys, kind of like the Blackman Crone of last series with the Rockies, this one with the Diamondbacks, Christian Walker, and David Peralta, the 4-5 there. The averages aren't great, but the home runs are there, especially for Walker. The RBIs are there. Buddy Kennedy, never heard of that guy. He's playing second, batting 6th. Pavin Smith is hitting 7th. Carson Kelly hitting 8th. Geraldo Perdomo is at shortstop hitting 9th. Then for the Padres, I mean, it's kind of surprising that Grisham's leading off. I know that a righty's on the mound, so they're pretty confident in having a lefty lead off there, but Profar would have been a lefty regardless because he's a switch hitter as that leadoff hitter. But what this tells me is they're not confident in putting C.J. Abrams at the top of the order yet, and he just comes back up. Maybe if he gets hot, then they'll think about it. But they want someone that's hit leadoff before, consistently before at the top of the order. That's why you got Grisham, I would think, hitting leadoff, and then Profar, Crony, Voit. I would prefer Mazara to be ahead of Hosmer. Since both of those guys are lefties, it wouldn't change anything. But in the order, Voit gets on or something and they have a runner in scoring position, I'd rather have Mazara up at the plate than Hosmer right now. But Haas is hitting 5th, Mazara is hitting 6th, Nola hitting 7th, so no Alfaro, Abrams and Kim hitting 9th, playing third base. Alcantara, I think he could come into the game as a late game replacement, maybe at shortstop, or excuse me, at third, kick fly over to short if the Padres have a lead. Because remember, Abrams, I'm not saying he's terrible defensively. He had some Sports Center worthy plays at shortstop in El Paso when he was just there before being called up. But when he was in the major leagues, he was booting some balls, making bad throws. Felt like he was rushing some things. So maybe late in the game, you see the Padres go to Alcantara instead of have Abrams out there. I don't know. Those are the lineups. Again, 6:40 is the first pitch. Darvish against Davies. The big news today regarding Manny Machado, he is not on the IL. Probably waiting a couple days, a few days to see if that swelling goes down. And then if it doesn't, well, you can just retroactive his IL stint to today. And if it does go down, well, that's good. Maybe he would be available off the bench in the series at some point. Again, I am looking way ahead. I'm getting too far ahead of myself with this Machado stuff, but it's great that Machado. It's not surprising. At the same time, it's great that he's not deciding to just go AL and he's fighting it. Right? He's saying, "No, this is the high IQ small move from Manny. It's not a surprise. I know how the IL works. I'm going to take a couple days. If it doesn't work out, okay, it doesn't work out. But I'd rather take a couple days here and try it than just take the easy way and go run IL. And then maybe a couple days down the road, I feel better and I can't play because I'm on the IL already, you know? All right, let's finish off with some comments, some questions here if anyone has any. Aaron asks, chances on re signing Musgrove. I'd still put much better than 50-50. He wants to be here. The Padres, of course, publicly said that they want him here. I believe it, but the Padres have to make a better effort. If the Padres make a better effort, I think he's coming back. Definitely. And Andy Ashby, when I talked to him last week on the show, he was telling me, he was like, he thinks that Musgrove's going to give every chance for the Padres to bring him back, and he's going to try as hard as he can to come back to San Diego. And I agree. I think that's definitely what Musgrove wants. He's not just saying, there's some guys, right, when a contract's up and you know that they're just saying this because they don't want to start anything, and they're just saying, yeah, of course I want to come back to Boston, or of course I want to come back to the Mets, or name any team, right? But do they really want to come back? With Musgrove, I believe it when he says, I want to stay in San Diego, right? I want to make this work. But the Padres, they just need to have a more competitive offer, and then Musgrove's agent, will actually think about it. But right now, offering him $11 million a year, that's the latest actual concrete AAV offer, real number that we've seen. The latest report was it's incentive laden contract. He deserves guaranteed money. Until the Padres give him an actual serious offer, he's not going to consider it. And why should he? He's the best pitcher in the National League. He shouldn't be considering that right now. Oh, okay. Darth Vader 2021 says Kennedy was called up yesterday making his debut. He's talking about that Rockies player that's in the lineup for them tonight. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Oscar says, do you see the Padres making a major trade move early if Manny is out for multiple weeks? No. I don't see that because they have Abrams. I think that some fans definitely don't like Sergio Alcantara because he doesn't do anything with the bat, but he's good in the field. And I think the Padres like that about him. To be honest, I'd be interested in seeing Eggy Rosario come up. If Abrams doesn't do well or they need a third baseman, see what Eggy Rosario could do. He was in spring training a lot. He played a lot of those spring training games. He was there. He wasn't just a week in and go back to minor league camp. He was there pretty much all the way till the end. Darth Vader says Jim Bowden calls Andrew Benintendi a perfect fit in a trade. I don't know about perfect. And what? He played left field, right? So where are you putting Profar then? Because Profar's playing, you know? I don't think Benintendi's that great that he would play left field over Profar right now. Profar's playing good. And Tommy Pham, no, he's not returning. I laughed at that. I tweeted about it yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe Friday? I forget when it was. But yeah, Jim Bowden said perhaps a Tommy Pham reunion in San Diego, coming back to San Diego. No. Why would he come back? Why would the Padres be interested in Tommy Pham when he wanted to punch Luke Voit earlier this year? And he's whining about a fantasy football league. Like, why would they want that? This guy isn't Mike Trout. This guy isn't Shohei Ohtani. This guy isn't Mookie Betts or Aaron Judge. Why would you want Tommy Pham? You don't need him. He's a headache. Could we get Kyle Farmer or Tyler O'Neill? Wolfpack 1977 says. Tyler O'Neill, probably not. The Cardinals are trying to win. Kyle Farmer, isn't he more of an infielder, like a shortstop? That's not what the Padres need. Christopher says, yeah, I'd like to see Eggy Rosario get a chance too. At least internally in general first before doing any trades. I agree. Because look, let's face it, AJ Preller, when he makes those moves and those desperate moves or the Austin Nola deal, well, he thought that he was going to get this high average catcher who would be the guy. Look how that's turned out. You lost Ty France. You lost Andres Munoz. You lost Luis Torrens, right? Who might be better than Austin Nola right now. To be honest, if you have Alfaro being the starting catcher and have Torrens be the backup, is that terrible? So I think he's definitely going to be patient right now. And the draft's coming up in less than a month, so he's focused on that as well. I know he can do multiple things, but I was at the draft combine on Friday. Talked to Peavy, talked to David Justice, talked to who else? Greg Amsinger, Harold Reynolds. Talked to Ryan Christensen briefly just to see how he was doing because he was masked up. He's still not with the team. Well, maybe he's there because he was at Petco Park, so he can enter the building, just not going to be in the dugout. Maybe Bomel's in the building too, and we just don't know about it. I have no idea. But he was there on Friday, masked up. I think he was seeing a friend, but he's allowed in the building, so we'll see. Well, we won't see, but that might be a little interesting to maybe if any reporters know. Hey, is Ryan Christensen there? He's just not in the dugout, so he doesn't get this backlash or anything. I don't know. All right, I think that's going to do it. This has been the June 20th Talking Friars Padres Diamondbacks pregame show. I'm Ben Fadden, your host. I hope that you subscribe to this YouTube channel for daily Padres content, at Talking Friars on Twitter for the game highlights, and on Instagram, on TikTok. Have a good Monday night, everyone. Go Padres.